Jet Cave Adventure is a platform side-scroller developed by Polish Studio 7 Levels. Inspired by titles like Donkey Kong, it offers a very enjoyable action and platform experience, but does it bring anything new to the genre? This title tells the story of a caveman called Kave, who is exiled by his own tribe after another disastrous hunt. Kave finds himself alone rambling through the desert when he accidentally stumbles upon a completely destroyed alien ship. Here is where you will find one of the game's key features, the jetpack, which allows you to fly for short periods of time or advance straight in a kind of dodging ability, giving your wearer a burst of speed. Now that's the premise where lays much of the gameplay of Jet Cave Adventure. Without a double jump, the player needs to master the motion of the jetpack and manage its limited fuel. The game takes place in a side-scroller manner and will place a number of prehistorical obstacles in Cave's path, using both the environment and technology to complete each level. In fact, the most interesting part is really looking for the hidden artifacts in each level, which means the player needs to use their flying skills a lot to reach higher places, or even opens door with the speed blast ability. There are also levels that consist of using a hang glider, where the player will have to avoid obstacles, and vertical levels with the use of jetpack. In either case, it is necessary to catch the cylinders with fuel, or a cave will crumble. As with any game of this kind, there are quite satisfactory sequences. These mixed jumps on platforms where it's necessary to use bamboo sticks, or a piece of land that has suddenly collapsed. To this is added a hint of enemies that comes in all forms and with different types of attack. Although they have slightly different appearances or attacks, almost all enemies are defeated with a single blow. To shoot down enemies, the player has at his disposal a wooden club and a slingshot, which can evolve and shoot up to 3 stones at the same time. The combat itself is simple and functional, as it's not the main feature of this title. Eventually, there are boss encounters that follows the premise of avoiding attacks until they become vulnerable to the player's onslaught. Unfortunately, there is not much variety in this field. The attack patterns are pretty much the same, so there is a small learning curve. There is a possibility to involve the weapons, the jetpack and the amount of hearts or lives that the player can lose. However, this is an aspect that adds little or nothing to the game, as it's not necessarily to complete it. It pretty much just makes things a little easier, as there is no choice of difficulty option. The replayability stand is very present, as it is possible to complete up to 3 goals. Beat the time of the level, collect X number of shells, which are presented as bargaining chips in the store, and finish the level without suffering any damage. It may sound simple, but is definitely not. If it takes a little more than 5 to 4 hours to finish the game, completing all the goals will require some additional frustration. Although this is a relatively small and somewhat repetitive adventure, it has 36 levels that will surely appeal to the fans of retro platforming titles.